Heavy spoilers for chapter 45, you have been warned. What's good, it's a boy did reviews, and chapter 45 Defection has just been released, and it was a pretty interesting chapter. I wasn't expecting it to be this interesting, but obviously coming off from the previous chapter, it's bound to be interesting. And obviously it's my kind of like predictions review of like what's going to happen in the next one and like future chapters and like stuff like that. But let's kind of give a brief review. So basically it kind of continues from the previous chapter, chapter 44, with Amador assuring that if they accept his defection, he will offer a lot of intel which will be extremely beneficial to them. And yeah, it will be very beneficial to them. And you've got like Karaki being like, Amador betrayed Kara, like what the heck is going on, you know? And obviously Naruto saying that yeah, he'll hear him out and all that lot. And we kind of cut back to Kara's base, and you kind of got like Code, what's her name? She's kind of keeping watch on like the Ten Tails, and yeah, it's looking pretty cool and all that lot. And then we got Kashi and Kojin arriving in front of. Then we cut back to like the Hokage's office, and then Shikamaru's going ape shit on this dude, excuse my French, and he's just like, yeah, he's super angry, but then Naruto's like telling him to stand down. And it's kind of nice seeing like Naruto like giving this more authoritative Kage role now, and it's really cool seeing him really mature as well. And just as Amado's about to explain what is going on, we kind of cut back to Kashin, Kojin and Jingen, and then like it's a really interesting, intense scene, you know. This obviously Jingen basically says that if you remember like back like a bunch of chapters ago when we had like Karaki in the airship and the airship being crashed, and Jing is basically saying that that wasn't an accident and it was done on purpose, and it looks like he's very suspicious of Kashin Kojin. We then come back to Amado explaining that yeah, Jingo is an Otsutsuki, and I think we all kind of knew that, but then he reveals that Jingo was originally a human being like everyone else, and he explains what the Otsutsuki really are: invaders from another planet. They are alien parasites, and their plan is to devour the life of a planet, and that's the only reason why they come and go, and how they plant the divine tree into the ground, which basically sucks up all the chakra on that planet. And yeah, pretty extreme, you know. The chakra fruits are lumps of tremendous energies and gigantic information, and they continuously update themselves by eating them, and that's how they evolve, which is quite extreme and very interesting. Then you got like Amado explaining that obviously Jingen has the Ten Tails, which is a different specimen than the one Naruto and Sasuke battled years before, and he doesn't know where it came from. So obviously this is kind of like, this is not the Ten Tails that, you know, that has all like the tail beasts inside of it, you know. This is a different version of the Ten Tails, so this probably was a Ten Tails created. And then Amado reveals that the Ten Tails then becomes the divine tree. In short, it is a seed of the divine tree, and they plant it into the ground. The Ten Tails grows into the divine tree, which consumes the planet and eventually bears the chakra fruit. And once they harvest the fruit, they no longer need the planet. They move on to another planet, and the same process happens again and again and again. And yeah, that is pretty much the Otsutsuki's plan, pretty much. At first, Naruto is saying that Jingen is basically trying to do all this, but then Sasuke corrects him, saying that it's whoever put karma on Jingen who's doing all this, you know. And Amado mentioned that Jingen was originally a human being, and then he became an Otsutsuki because of the karma. And then obviously Amado is like saying, yep, Sasuke's absolutely right. Then that's when Sasuke is basically confronting Amado about what karma really is. And then just when we're about to get this super duper interesting information, Amado gets a call from Kashin Kojin. Jingen then tells Kashin Kojin that he allowed Kawaki to escape by conspiring with Amado to crash the airship, and it was them two who did all that incident from the beginning. And Amado basically reveals that Kashin Kojin is his only collaborator within Kara. Kashin Kojin then reveals to Jingen that he was created to kill him, and yeah, that's when the chapter pretty much ends. They kind of have a little fight, and yeah, It's pretty intense, and we're about to get a Kashin Kojin versus Jingen fight. So that's pretty much my little review of the chapter. It was very intense with a lot of information. There's still a lot more they're going to reveal. Now, there's a lot of things that are interesting, like how it's revealed that Jingen, who has the karma, is actually no Otsutsuki, and like how he was an original human. I kind of thought all that was really surprising. I didn't really expect that. So karma, what the heck is this karma? It looks like karma is some sort of like way to possess a human being and for an Otsutsuki to take control of that person's body in a way. What I found interesting is that if that is what karma is, why don't the Otsutsuki use that power on other human beings? And I think they pick specific humans who have specific abilities. Boruto obviously has a really interesting ability. I mean, he's got the Uzumaki blood and the Hyuga blood, and you know. And if you guys remember to like chapter 10 of the Boruto manga called My Story, and just as like Boruto defeats Momoshiki with the Rasengan, and it looks like everything's all done and settled, but then time seems to stop, and then Momoshiki basically confronts Boruto saying that even though Boruto has all this great power, he can't see his own future, but Momoshiki can clearly see his fate, and he tells Boruto that once you defeat a god, there's no going back and you can no longer be an ordinary human. And then that's when he kind of disappears, and then from that moment on, Boruto got karma, and it looks like karma seems to be like some sort of like, you know, karma, no pun intended, to what happens when somebody like defeats an Otsutsuki. Like, you know, if a human defeats an Otsutsuki, that's probably what happens to them. Like maybe they get like this sort of like weird reaction. But then I thought about maybe before Momoshiki died, he was able to put his spirit inside Boruto. Jingen then confirms this like during the Kawaki art that Momoshiki chose Boruto to be his vessel before dying, and it looks like the Otsutsuki are able to like possess human beings like when they die or something like that. So that's probably what happens in karma. Like, it's not really explained, but that's literally where I'm seeing what's happening. Like, it looks like Kawaki also has the same ability as well. And obviously you guys remember that Kawaki got karma from Jingen because he was the one and only person who was able to survive after Jingen transferred his own karma into him. So it kind of made me think that Boruto got his karma from defeating Momoshiki. So who the heck is this Jingen person, and which Otsutsuki did he kill, you know? Which is what I'm trying to think, like, did he defeat an Otsutsuki back in the day? Like, is this how he's able to be, is this how he's being possessed? Because remember what Momoshiki said, like, you kill a god, you can no longer be a normal regular human being, and that's what's happened. And how his blue eyes, how Naruto's blue eyes will pretty much cost him everything. And it's looking like Momoshiki's now possessing Boruto, and it doesn't look like, it looks like, and now because of all this, it feels that, if you remember in the first episode or the first chapter where we see a slightly older version of Boruto and Kawaki fighting, and they both have like the karma activated and all that lot, it's looking like Kawaki is probably being possessed by maybe Jingen. Like maybe in the future Jingen is like, maybe Kawaki is officially going to be the vessel and Jingen's basically controlling him. And yeah, it looks like Boruto has some sort of control over the karma in the future when he's battling Kawaki. Dude has the karma all over his body, you know, and this dude's a lot older and he looks a lot more powerful than he was as a kid, you know. So I'm thinking that, was he able to somehow take control of karma, and like maybe like Momoshiki, the spirit inside of him, was able to like defeat that spirit and was able to use that power, make it his own, like somehow a similar thing with like how Naruto was able to like sympathize with the Nine Tails and how those two became buddies. Maybe the same thing will happen with Boruto and Momoshiki. Like, who knows, maybe that would happen. Like and then like we have like Jingen like it looks like he's taking control of Kawaki, but then I'm not too sure because Boruto calls him Kawaki and not Jingen or anything like that. So I'm not really sure if the person he's fighting is Jingen or Kawaki, or maybe there's an even bigger twist, and maybe Boruto's the one being possessed by Momoshiki, and it's Kawaki who's trying to save Boruto, you know, because you got to remember, dude, that flipping Momoshiki did say that his blue eyes will cost him everything, and we see them fighting alongside a destroyed like Hidden Leaf village, and it looks kind of spooky and scary. So who knows, like, that's just my silly opinions and my little theories, but what do you guys think down below? Tell me in the comments what are your predictions and theories for like the next chapter and future chapters. Am I wrong? Am I right? I'd like to know your opinions. Give me a like and subscribe to more chapter reviews, manga reviews, anime reviews, movie reviews, TV show reviews and whatnot and all that jazz. But thanks for watching this review, and as always, a Boruto review signing out.